Hi everyone, good morning to you. Welcome back to my channel. I hope all is well with you. So please, if you come across this video, I expect you to like it and share it on any platform of your choice. So I'm here this morning to share it with you, some of the important news. Although this one it happened yesterday, but by the time we got it, I was already streaming live. So I'm here this morning to share that with you. Few days ago, it was announced that the American government decided to take away to withdraw their soldiers in Nigeria. And the way things are looking, the way they decided to, change their pattern now on Nigerian, this issue of, genocide going on in Nigeria, Christian genocide. This has triggered so many questions, and people are talking about it. So I'm surprised to hear that the European Union are discussing and deliberating on that. But there's something to take home from that because this is not a coincidence. There must be something going on. But is it reliable? Can you trust the European Parliament? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But what concerns us here is the silence of the Finnish government. Silent of Finnish government. Do you know that the reason why PM is still in prison is because they believe that PM is inciting violence, isn't it? And this is a country that has so many, ways to verify or to find out what is going on in Nigeria. In 1967, Nigerian Biafran genocidal war. That war is not actually a normal war. We know what happened about starvation and blockade and all that. Of course, which is being translated to or being linked to war crime, and nobody's facing any charges or any trial about that. Now, Finland is one of the countries that that were there, witnessed it, and they understand what Biafra means and what our people went through. According to their history, their politicians or their father then in 1967, passed this information to the current to their children who happen to be those are in political power today and all that. So what am I trying to say? The Afghan issue and Nigerian problem and everything is not new to Finland. Alexander Stubb, who actually it was alleged that his wife is a British woman. So I'm just saying, so you cannot connect it up by yourself. Just like it was alleged that Tinubu's, is it father-in-law or something? I don't know which of them, but I know that Tinubu has not Tinubu, sorry, Trump has some connection with one Lebanese man who unfortunately happened to be in charge of Nigerian, economy and so many. He has a lot of investment and so-called investment in Nigeria. So the connection and everything is the reason why people are questioning the, Tinubu's Trump's, involvement and what he has done, the choice he chose to make and everything now. Because some people are saying, look, that there's something fishing somewhere. Okay, the way he's responding to the killing and everything going on, unlike Donald Trump. People say no, he just want to focus on what is going on in Iran, and a lot of people, a lot of voices out there. You don't know which one is to follow, but what we are doing now is just to focus on the one we can lay hands upon. But in case if you don't understand what I'm talking about Tinubu's Trump links, the kind of secret private business going on, this dirty politics that some people play. You may not understand what I'm trying to say, but I have a very short clip that may explain it better. So please, let's go. Let's start from there. Then we can watch.
Have you been wondering why Donald Trump has been unusually quiet about Nigeria? No sanction talk, no democracy lectures, press conferences about governance or accountability, just silence. Today, I want to introduce you to the reason for that silence. His name is Masad Boulos. And once I show you the chain, you will never look at Nigeria politics the same way again. Who is Masad Boulos? Masad Boulos is not a name most Nigerians know, but he has been living in your country for nearly 30 years. He was born in Lebanon, holds 4 passports, Lebanese, Nigeria, French, and American, and moved to Lagos in 1996 as CEO of SCOA, Nigeria, a heavy truck and machinery company. He raised his family in Lagos. His son, Michael, grew up there. And in 2022, that son, Michael Boulos, married Tiffany Trump, Donald Trump's daughter. That made Masad Boulos Donald Trump in-law. And in December 2024, Trump appointed him senior advisor to the president. By April 2025, Africa was added to his portfolio, making him the most senior US government official responsible for the entire African continent. The man advising America on Africa policy spent 30 years in Lagos. Hold that thought. Now I want to show you a shame. Every link is documented. Link 1. Masad Boulos company. SCOA Nigeria supplies heavy equipment to a construction company called High-Tech Constructions. High-Tech Construction is a subsidiary of the Shaguri Group. That is a business relationship. Boulos supplies Shaguri builds. Link 2. Who is Gilbert Shaguri? Gilbert Shaguri is a Lebanese Nigerian billionaire who was convicted of money laundering, flagged by the FBI for suspected Hezbollah financing, and paid a settlement to the US Department of Justice over illegal campaign finance contribution. Link 3. Under President Bola Tinubu, Gilbert Shaguri, through High-Tech Construction, has received more than $13 billion in Nigeria government contracts without competitive bidding, without going to tender, just awarded directly. $13 billion.
So
Let me bring that home for you.
very
At
shocking.
today's exchange rates,
Very
that is
shocking.
20.8 trillion naira.
Goodness.
Nigeria's entire federal budget for 2024 was 28 trillion. The whole of Nigeria budget in 2024 was 28 trillion. Only one man received 20.8 trillion inside. This one man received 74% of an entire nation's budget in contracts from one president. The Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway alone, awarded to Shaguri High-Tech Construction without competitive bidding, is between 11 and 13 billion. That single road contract is more than Nigeria education budget for years combined. And if you took that money and paid every Nigerian worker the new minimum wage of 70,000 naira, you could pay them all for 24 years. That is what we are talking about. Link 4. Tinubu's son, Sheyi Tinubu, sits on the board of separate Shaguri Group subsidiary. And Tinubu himself once said of Shaguri, with friends like him, one can sleep with a still mind. Link 5. Now, the man whose company supplies Shaguri's construction hands, Masad Boulos, is now Donald Trump's senior advisor for Africa. He is the man whispering into Donald Trump's ears about Nigeria. And you're wondering why Trump is quiet about Tinubu. Let me show you a linked alleged corruption. Before a presidential advisor take office in America, the law requires them to file a financial disclosure, a full declaration of all businesses, relationship, and financial interests. This exists for one reason, so that the public can see whether the person advising the president has a personal financial stake in the decisions he is influencing. Masad Boulos was required to file one, whether it discloses his business relationship with the Shaguri Group, the group whose construction hands receive billions from Tinubu. It's a question the public cannot currently answer. Because shortly after Trump's inauguration in January 2025, the White House took its financial disclosure page offline. It disappeared. Oga Tarif. The public cannot say what he filed or whether the Shaguri connection was ever disclosed to anyone. What do we call that? In law, it is called concealment of conflict of interest. In governance, it is called obstruction of public accountability. In plain language, it is called corruption. A record that citizens are legally entitled to see, gone, offline, unavailable, disappeared. Disclosure pages do not accidentally go offline. This is an active decision. So let me summarize what we know, not what we suspect, what is documented. Trump's Africa advisor spent 30 years in Nigeria, Lagos. His company supplied equipment to a Shaguri construction arm. That Shaguri Hands received 20.8 trillion naira, $13 billion in no-bid contract from Tinubu. Tinubu's own son sits on the Shaguri board. The financial disclosure that should have revealed all of this disappeared from the White House website. And America has been silent about Nigeria.
God, I mean, that's why if you wake up and hear that somebody having a handshake to lobby lawmakers in US, just laugh at them. Just laugh. Today they are not promoting Trump. Oh, Trump is a talk and do. I saw something about why. You see, these people can never stop amazing me. Honestly, I don't know I don't know who is cooking the food they're feeding on. But time will tell, like I always say, it's a matter of time. So you had it all. You had it all. And to worst everything or to add insult to injury, Trump is also, some people are lobbying on behalf of the Nigerian government. Many of you know, believe you have heard how much Nigerian government decided to, release to lobby Trump, despite having these key players around them. You understand what that means? That is the reason why today the attention of helpless Nigerians have been diverted to somehow to European Parliament. Ordinarily, nobody want to talk about or believe that there's a hope that there's any hope coming from European Parliament. But today, people are hoping on that, relying and believing that somehow things may be of help, things may work well, that kind of belief, that things may be good, hoping that let's just hope and wait for the right time. That right time is when? I'm asking you, when? Because as of today, people are, what is trending today is this issue of, European Parliament saying this and saying that and that. So we are going to go through it. So just like I told you, many people are reacting on this, updates about, Parliament, European Parliament, what they're saying. And so hear this. Let's start from this.
We must start talking about one thing: Christianophobia. I know it is not as trending as defending Islam in this chamber, but for once, could we pay attention to what's happening to Christians in Nigeria? In rural villages, believers have been attacked, displaced, and killed by armed extremist actors like Boko Haram and other jihadist militias. It is no coincidence that the persecution of Nigerian Christians is heavily concentrated in the country's northern regions. The region where several states have Muslim majorities and have adopted Sharia law. This house simply cannot look away. It must find its backbone and defend the Christian world globally and in Europe as well, because the Christian world is worth defending. Thank you.
All right, so this was shared by St. Nelson. This house is simply cannot look away. It must find its backbone and defend the Christians' world globally. Strong remarks on persecution of Christians in Nigeria by MEP. Okay, so this is one of the people, that find it worthy or that felt like, okay, let's talk about what is going on in Nigeria. Like I told you, people don't often do that. People don't often do that simply because to them, sometimes I believe because they have made me to believe that this is about race. Are you trying to tell me if a Nigerian is white, country, not black or Africa, you think that they will just be selling like that? So Trump having a in-law from Lebanon, and Lebanese or Nigerian. I don't know what to call them because they are Nigerian by wealth, but by nationality, Lebanon. So anything is possible because once they look at you, they see you as should I say, experimental field where they're going to experiment whatever they want to experiment. Reason why Trump strike ISIS hideout in Nigeria and ignore Fulani militias is still a shock to me. It's still a mystery because under normal circumstances, people that buy people more in Nigeria as we speak are Fulani militia. But it doesn't matter. All the hope, all the belief that Trump is coming to save the world, everything crashed just in a second. Everything has crashed. You know, nobody has anything to say anymore. Not even one bit. Anyway, let's continue because this is not the only people that have arrived on this. We have another person. Okay, still from the Nelson. Still Nelson. Let's see, Sean Nelson. Let's see hear what this person said here. This lady. Hear it.
Silenzio. Silence. The world is silent. While in Nigeria, a massacre is taking place. Dozens of Christians massacred every week to general indifference. Only in 2025, there were over 3,000 Christians killed by Islamists. These are not numbers, these are entire families that have been exterminated, villages razed to the ground, churches burned with the worshippers inside. It's a strategy to terrorize, to grab their lands and uproot an entire community. This is no longer a humanitarian emergency. We're now looking at a genocide. Christians are today the religious group that is most persecuted around the world. We continue to look away or talk about a non-existent Islamophobia. Europe is not pursuing this, but we cannot wait any longer. Every day of silence is complicit with those who are killing Christians. Thank you.
That's okay. Remember, this is European Parliament. Finland, can see their flag here. Can see the Finnish flag is here. But they are holding somebody who is resisting this genocide. Now let's continue. Silence the world is silent. Why in Nigeria a massacre has taken place? They are not numbers. These are entire families being exterminated. Okay? Being exterminated. Here again, listen. Say from Nelson. Let's listen to this person, this one, okay?
Thank you, Chair, Commissioner, dear colleagues. The horrific attacks in Kavel village, where innocent Christians, including their pastor, were brutally killed, is yet another tragic reminder of the escalating violence against Christians communities in Nigeria. Sadly, this is not an isolated incident. Nigeria has become one of the most dangerous places in the world to be a Christian. Across the country, Christian communities face repeated attacks by Fulani militants, Boko Haram, and other organized groups. Violence is part of a broader and deeply worrying pattern of persecution. The EU must therefore strongly condemn these attacks and press on the Nigerian government to step up its fight against the armed militant groups responsible for this violence. I call on the Commission to give an urgent attention to the worrying situation of Christians in Nigeria and all persecuted religious communities in Nigeria. We had a very fruitful discussion this morning with the newly appointed EU Special Envoy on Religious Freedom, Mary McGuinness, and I look forward to working with her to help Christian and other religious groups to facing persecution. Thank you very much.
All right, so stay on the issue of persecution going on. According to the write-up here, the message from Sean Nelson, the European Parliament debate on persecution of Christians in Nigeria began today. Remarks from MEP, Mariam, that's the name of the lady, a long-time religious freedom advocate across the country, Christian communities face repeated attacks from Fulani militia, Boko Haram, and other organized groups. So people, like I told you, are reacting on this, and Joseph Okechukwu did not step back. He, of course, he has something to say as well. But before then, he shared this voice, this speech from this lady. So let us hear this one.
Innocent people were massacred at the Kabul village, and our thoughts are with the families of the victims. The violence in Nigeria is driven by disputes over land and water, climate change, poverty, criminality, weak governance, persistent impunity, and deep-rooted religious, ethnic, and intercommunal tensions. Together, these pressures have fueled a brutal cycle of revenge, and breaking that cycle requires more than expressions of outrage. To the colleagues who rightly demand the protection of Christian communities in Nigeria, I ask to look at the actions of the global conservative allies. Last year, Trump dismantled the USA with enormous consequences in Nigeria. Hundreds of schools in conflict-affected areas were closed. 1/5 of the national healthcare budget was taken away. Imagine the consequences on maternal health and on the fight against HIV. Conservatives have defunded the very local networks, many of them Christian faith-based healthcare providers that offered a front line against poverty and radicalization. I call on the EU to be a committed partner in supporting humanitarian aid, conflict prevention, justice reform, and climate resilience, and on the Nigerian authorities to protect all civilians, and on my colleagues to also make sure that right-wing populism doesn't get away with international aid. Thank you.
All right. Let's go through the text from Joseph Okechukwu. The violence in Nigeria is driven by disputes over land and water, climate change, poverty, criminality, and weak governance, persistent impunity, and deep-rooted religious, ethnic, and internal and intercommunal tension. Together, this pressure have fueled a brutal cycle of revenge. EU parliamentarian. No climate change and land disputes have nothing whatsoever to do with the brutal violence against Christians, of course. Women and children in Nigeria, it is calculated, premeditated, well-funding genocidal campaign to eliminate Christians simply because they are Christians. This has been roundly proven by dozens of local and international organizations, including the United Nations. Tinubu's lobby money may have gotten to the EU, but the truth remains the truth. Stop the genocide now. That is from Joseph Okechukwu. Now, we have a comment from Christopher Kenwa. All right? And this is the reason why I played the video that I played in the beginning about Trump's decision, and from day one, people do that. I knew some people who did not even believe that Trump is going to do anything. When he struck Sokoto, people started saying, "Okay, this is a different thing that we have not seen this before," hoping that change will come. But you see, this financial of a thing, circulation of funds, under table business, and all that, still played very, very great role in the decision and some steps that the American government have decided to take. And the same thing applicable to Finland. No matter how they move the body in Nigeria today, Elizabeth Stop is not going to move anything, because these are core Caucasians. So they see you as a remember those days in your secondary school. If you know, they will tell you this is a spaceman. Some of them, they believe that Africans, Christians in Nigeria are spacemen. Do I entirely blame them? No. Because even the so-called that the GO, bishop, cardinals, reverend fathers, reverend sisters, are they even doing anything about it? No. Some of them even fighting you for saying there's Christian genocide going on in Nigeria. Just imagine the madness. Just think about it. Somebody who claimed that I have been ordained, or not even claimed, someone that have been ordained as a leader in the Christendom and or Christianity or Catholic, in Anglican, in Pentecostal, Methodist, whatever denomination that you think you are. What are you doing? only few of them have, have added their voice, and their voice always very, very little. The current governor of Benue State is a Reverend Father. Today, or rather yesterday, there is a very deadly massacre that happened in Benue State. Do you understand? But people are not saying anything about it. Anyway, Christopher Kumar said this. Apparently, the current Finnish government has remained silent. Does that silence mount to complicity? Of course, especially if it is working with those who sponsor these killings while targeting and jailing their friends who are campaigning to stop them. People that are doing something to stop this genocide from, getting to other parts, from, taking place in different lands. Somebody that are resisting them ahead of time is the person that Finland, Danko, no, Pomachis, Uchechi, Maz Uchechi, Pomachis, are yapping nonsense. Or even today, she's still tweeting garbage. A very useless, hopeless human being. These are people that when you look at them, you wonder, are they an instrument of punishment to us, or are they making mistakes? What have we even done to deserve this kind of element called human being that are around us? I mean, what is the problem? What have we done? What is that sin? We don't deserve this privilege. We don't deserve that. People without shame, without honor. And the master prophet just announced, I saw that this morning, that he spoke with the PM yesterday. I was very happy to see that. I was very, very happy to just hear that. That's why I told us. You see all these 100 men, Americans said, one thing you must understand, listen, let me tell you, whether you like it or not, one thing you must understand, have it back of your mind. There is no way Masakano will dissolve the old DOS, that is SDOS, without forming another one. And I will tell you why. Are you expecting him to just, without having any people, any followers? No. He will have his own followers because he don't know how, how you love him, or how he's not sure of your love to him. Before he was taken, he don't know most of people today. He don't know much about DPM. To the best of my knowledge, he don't know much about family. You understand? Not that he don't trust you. He do trust you. But the person that he has met one-on-one or have something to do is PM. So sure, and DPM understood this. She knows this very well. That's why she's not pushing to become anybody's friend. If you have noticed, DPM is not pushing to become anybody's friend. Rather, Biafrans are the one telling her to contact, reach her. You know what I mean? And she's doing that just to satisfy our conscience. Some of us are happy to see DPM talking with Aloy Jimako, talking with what is the name of this lady in Israel. We all want them to be coming together, to talk. But on a second thought, she's also a human being. Not expect her to we go where to Yakata to people on Amaro. So she's also a human being. She needs to also comport her own territory, because she's standing for Biafrans and of course Mazamudukana and PM Samaneka. And she have not moved from this. Since the one, she keep on saying the same thing. It's not even everybody that were called Mazamudukana or respect like that, because both of them don't know much about each other, understand it very, very well. But that does not mean there's any gap. There's no gap. But because of these are people that focus on one thing: freedom. They're not looking at, should I this? Okay, I need to give this or no. They understand each other. The same thing Masakano want is the same thing DPM want. Forget about side talkers. They will come whether you like it or not. Or Jesus Christ can't catch it again now. Equal to Jesus Christ. He was even sold by one of his disciples. So that is to tell you that whatever you are seeing today, not going to go that because you are involved. That's why that's what they will go now. I understand. I'm not expecting myself to just crash the criminal gang. Do you know what it takes to crash them? It takes a lot. And that is a very bold decision. Whether that decision comes from Masad Boulos or not, I am in support. You see, this is the SGS. They have done more harm than good. They are the reason why you are hearing today, anybody that being kidnapped in our land, they tell you difference. Oh, IPOBs, ndị Biafra, ndị autopilot, as long as you're talking about freedom, I'm not going to wanted list. Looking for whom to use as to do the carry out the experiment. But sometimes the experiment always reverse against them. I'm gonna end it here. Please let me know what you think about it. Finland government need to ask some questions. Okay, they are met at the one discussing. We are here to hear from them. But let me just, for benefit of that, let's see what will be their decision and keep measure. Because the whole world is talking. That which they think that Samariba is instigating. That is not, that's not like instigation. There is nothing like instigation. If you can be aware to yourself, if what happened in Benue State could happen only, which I don't know what is the country that is very, very close to them, like the closest country to Finland. Finland will also have, they will add more budget to the security and to protect their border. That is self-defense. That is to resist it. That is to protect your people. But so we don't have right to do the same thing, isn't it? Because we are black. Come on. Anyway, let me know what you think about it, like I said, and make sure you like the video. God bless you and take care of yourself. Good morning to all of you. Don't forget to put your comments. I want to know what you think about everything that we just discussed. Go to Amanda.